BBC Radio Scotland.
Thursday morning on BBC Radio Scotland. Now, do you believe?
I believe in Joe Hendry, 'cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo. America's
Can't get enough of that this morning in Eurovision week. Scottish wrestler Joe Hendry stormed the charts with his viral single, I Believe in Joe Hendry. So how did a 36-year-old wrestler from Edinburgh end up taking on the likes of Taylor Swift? Let's find out. Joe joins me now, live this morning. Joe, morning.
Good morning.
How did this come about?
It is a series of fortunate random events. What had happened was my song, people had always liked my song, my entrance song. I've had it for some time now, but I noticed on TikTok people were making videos with it and it was getting literally millions of hits. And I thought, well, maybe I should put this up on Spotify. So I put it up on Spotify one evening, didn't really think much of it. And when it came out on the Monday, I woke up and it was number 20 in the iTunes charts. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I tweeted it out and then it just caught fire and just went from there. And it's just, life's been an absolute roller coaster since then.
What is it about the song, do you think?
So the funny thing is, it is actually, despite only being 1 minute 13 seconds long, it is actually quite a complex, well thought out song. So it like changes time signature. It has, I put a lot of work into like the melodies and stuff like that. I was a musician for 10 years before I was a wrestler. So I think it was a lot of effort went into it. And I think it was just the fan response to the live events as well. They seem to really respond to my entrance. So yeah, it's been so much fun. The fan base has been unbelievable. The support has been unbelievable. And yeah, it's so fun and rare in life when something like this happens, when it's so unexpected. And then, yeah, it happens. It's very cool.
Now, every song needs a video these days. How did you go about doing that?
Well, the same way we always do it, which is I say to my brother, who he's the one who gets roped into doing all this stuff. And I was like, right, let's go up Arthur's Seat. Let's make the video. So we shot it, just one camera on my video. And it's crazy. If you actually look at the video, we didn't notice this at the time, but after editing it, there's actually, when I'm waving my hands on the top of Arthur's Seat, a bird stops and it stays in the air beside me while I'm waving my hands. It's as if it was CGI, but it actually happened. So that was pretty cool too.
That is the power of Joe Hendry.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Do you see? So what can we expect next from you? Is there an album going to come as a result of all this, do you think?
Well, so my thing in wrestling is I make songs to make fun of my opponents, and that's kind of how all this started and went viral in the first place. So whenever I do a live event, I will make a song making fun of my opponent, and that was kind of going viral on YouTube. So fans have been asking me to do an album for a long time, but I have actually been challenged by the company that I work for, which is TNA Wrestling, and they, you know how they'll have big events, they'll have pay-per-view events for sports shows and stuff like that. They challenged me to write just a good rock song that could support the marketing for a pay-per-view. So I kind of need to decide whether the silliness is going to continue, which I think it always will, or if I'm going to do a serious one and then a silly one. But I'll maybe leave that to the fans. But it's very exciting. I didn't think I'd get to express myself musically in this way since I became a wrestler, but it's just, you never know how life works out.
It's brilliant. It's totally brilliant. The walk-on songs, they're really important. You think back to Rocky as well. The tune, what does it do for you when you're walking out in the arena to the song?
So for me, when I first got into professional wrestling, I watched as a fan, and I could see that the entrance and the presentation was like half the battle. If you have an amazing entrance, you are halfway there to being a great professional wrestler. It's what a lot of people don't realize is that all wrestlers and musicians that I know get terrified backstage before they go out. The stage fright is just unbelievable. There's so many performers I know backstage who really struggle with that, but the moment their music hits and they walk through the curtain, they just become somebody else. So that's kind of what my song allows me to do. The moment I hear it, I become the person I need to be when I go to the ring.
I'm just thinking, maybe other people need it as well. John Swinney's about 25 minutes away from his First Minister's questions at Holyrood. Maybe politicians could have walk-on music.
Do you know, well, actually, my uncle is an MP for the SNP. Drew Hendry is my uncle. But if John Swinney had given me enough notice, we could have done I Believe in John Swinney for him. That would have been no problem.
Is that an offer you're putting out there now? Can we do that? Can we make that happen?
If the price is right.
Well, do you know, I think it would make a great Eurovision song. I think you'd be a great Eurovision contestant. We might have a chance with you.
You know, it's something that fans have joked about with me for a long time. I did actually have a quick look, and we're out of time for this year. But I think, maybe the silliness could continue. And the thing I enjoy most about doing this is the people who know nothing about wrestling just see I Believe in Joe Hendry by a guy called Joe Hendry in the charts. And if I could do Eurovision, it would just increase the confusion, which is just, I love it.
Joe, promise me you're going to make this. What would you wear on the Eurovision stage? Costumes are important.
That is very true. That is very true. I think I would need full. It couldn't just be me in regular clothes or wrestling gear. I think I would need a full sort of Marvel style superhero costume if we were going to do Eurovision. We'd have to go all the way.
Oh, I love this. Let's try and make this happen. Just something serious to finish with, which we had on the news a little bit earlier. The tickets for this huge international wrestling event that's coming to Scotland. Drew McIntyre, I had Drew on the show a few weeks ago. WWE Friday Night SmackDown Clash at the Castle. A combined ticket, £333.66. Pence. Fans aren't happy about it. Is that too expensive?
So here's the thing. The company that I work for is called TNA Wrestling. So I'm very focused on what they're doing. But what I will say is, you mentioned Drew. Drew is someone who I look up to a lot. He's someone I've wrestled many times, and I was very lucky to cross paths with him. He made me a better wrestler. He made everybody around him a better wrestler. And I'm absolutely delighted that he is getting to represent Scotland on the stage that he is.
That's a politician's answer. I can tell you're related to Drew Hendry.
He's taught me well. He's taught me well.
Listen, good luck with this, Joe. It's a brilliant piece of fun, and come back on when you're selected for Eurovision, yeah?
Absolutely.
Joe Hendry, pleasure to speak to you this morning. It's 11:38 now on a Thursday morning. Back to the music from